Ryan stepped off the small transport pod onto the surface of Zithera, feeling the soft hum of alien energy beneath his boots. The air smelled sweet, like a mix of flowers and minerals, and the sky shimmered with two suns casting gentle golden and violet hues across the forested landscape. He adjusted his explorer's visor and took a deep breath, excitement and curiosity flooding him. He had been to many planets before, but Zithera felt different, alive in a way he could almost feel in his bones. As he moved deeper into the dense forest, Ryan noticed trees with translucent leaves that reflected the light like glass. Strange birds with glowing feathers flew silently overhead, and the ground pulsed faintly with energy under his boots. He was recording everything on his portable device, narrating aloud so he could review the observations later. Zithera had life, yes, but it also had intelligence. Something about the energy here made him feel observed. Ryan paused by a small stream, kneeling to take a sample. He murmured to himself, imagining what kind of reactions the locals might have if they ever met a human. The thought barely formed in his mind when a soft melodic laugh echoed around him. He froze. No wind, no birds, just the laugh, light and teasing, almost musical. Ryan's heart raced. "Who's there?" he called, but the laugh came again, closer this time. Suddenly, a small figure appeared from between the trees. Ryan blinked. It was a girl, young by human standards, but unlike any human he had ever seen. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver, and her large eyes reflected the forest light in shades of violet and green. Her hair floated around her shoulders, almost weightless, as if it moved with its own energy. She had a playful smile, and in her hand, she held a thin crystal staff that seemed to hum faintly. Ryan opened his mouth to speak, but the girl cut him off with another laugh, soft, almost musical, and somehow very familiar. "You think funny things," she said, her voice like wind chimes. Ryan froze, his mind racing. Funny things? How could she possibly know that? He had barely thought the thought, let alone spoken it. I don't know what you mean," he stammered, trying to hide his surprise. The girl giggled again and tilted her head. "Oh, you know exactly what you mean," she said. Ryan could only stare. Her laughter was contagious, and despite the confusion, he found himself smiling. "I'm Ryan," he said cautiously. "I'm an explorer." The girl's eyes sparkled. "I am Lyra. You think too many things." "I hear them all." Ryan blinked. "Hear yet my thoughts?" He felt a shiver run down his spine. "How is that possible?" Lyra floated a few steps closer, her laughter softening. "We do not hear like you. We feel. Your thoughts, your ideas, your imagination. I know them, and I laugh when they are amusing." Ryan swallowed hard, realizing that every time he thought something mischievous or silly, her laugh followed almost instantly. He tried to concentrate, to think neutral thoughts, but it was impossible. Lyra always found something funny. He rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed but fascinated. "So you can read minds?" he asked. Lyra shook her head. "Not exactly minds. Thoughts, feelings, images. Things you cannot hide. You think funny or strange, and I laugh." Ryan chuckled nervously. "Well, I guess I can't hide anything from you." She giggled again, and this time it sounded warmer, almost friendly. "Good. Hiding is boring. Sharing is more fun." Ryan realized something important. She wasn't mocking him. She was connecting with him in a way he had never experienced. As they walked together, Ryan noticed how Zithera seemed to respond to Lyra. Flowers leaned toward her as she passed. Streams glimmered brighter, and the wind seemed to carry her laughter like music. She led him to a clearing where the ground glowed faintly with energy. Ryan knelt to examine it, noting its unusual crystalline formations. Lyra floated near him, watching curiously. "You like this world," she said, laughing softly as Ryan absent-mindedly imagined her riding one of the glowing streams like a river. He jumped slightly. How do you do that?" he asked. Lyra shrugged, smiling. "You cannot hide anything. Thoughts are like ripples on water. I hear them, feel them, and sometimes they make me laugh." Ryan shook his head in disbelief. He had faced dangerous planets, hostile creatures and harsh environments before, but nothing had prepared him for an alien who could hear his thoughts and laugh at them. Over the next few hours, Ryan and Lyra explored the forest together. She showed him floating flowers that hummed when touched, trees that grew in geometric patterns, and tiny creatures that glowed like living lanterns. Ryan was amazed, but every time he thought a thought that was even slightly mischievous, Lyra's laughter would echo around him. At first he was embarrassed, but gradually he began to enjoy it. It was like a playful challenge, and it made him more aware of his own mind. Ryan began talking aloud about his experiences on other planets, joking about human habits and mistakes. Lyra laughed more freely now, her amusement genuine and warm. "You humans are strange," she said finally, still giggling. "But clever. Funny. I like that." As the suns began to set, casting long violet shadows across the forest, Ryan realized he was tired but happy. Lyra led him to a small hill overlooking the forest. From there he could see the shimmering outline of an alien city in the distance, its spires reflecting the fading light. "This is where we live," Lyra said softly. "The city of Zinthara. Beautiful, yes?" Ryan nodded, speechless. "It is incredible. I've never seen anything like it." Lyra laughed lightly at his awe. "You humans always surprised." "That is good." Ryan wanted to ask her more about her people, her abilities, but he also noticed how the forest responded to her presence. It was as if she was part of Zinthara itself, connected in ways humans could never understand. And then, almost without thinking, Ryan had a thought. She must be lonely even with all this beauty. Before he could stop it, Lyra giggled again, a musical sound that seemed to vibrate in the air. "Yes," she said, floating closer. "I am lonely sometimes. But you are different. Your mind is alive, funny, strange, and interesting." Ryan felt a strange warmth in his chest. For the first time, he realized that Lyra's laughter was more than amusement. It was a bridge, a connection across worlds. Night fell on Zythera, and the sky turned deep violet, studded with unfamiliar constellations. Ryan set up his small camp, and Lyra hovered nearby, watching. He told her stories of Earth, of oceans, mountains, and cities. She listened intently, laughing softly at his small mistakes in memory or exaggerations in description. It was a strange, delightful companionship. Before he slept, Ryan thought about the future. He had come to Zythera to explore, to document, and perhaps to find signs of intelligent life. Instead, he had found Lyra, playful, clever, and extraordinary. He realized that the planet had given him something more valuable than discoveries, a friend who could understand him in ways no human ever could. As he drifted off to sleep, Ryan felt her laughter echo in his mind one last time, soft and comforting. It was not mocking. It was invitation, curiosity, and warmth, and for the first time in his life, he felt completely understood by someone not of his own species. Morning came, painting the sky in soft pinks and oranges. Ryan woke to Lyra standing near his pod, smiling. "Good morning," she said, her laughter soft and bright as the dawn. Ryan laughed too, feeling lighter than he had in years. "Good morning," he replied. "I guess today we explore more?" "Yes," Lyra said, eyes sparkling. "And today, you will think funny thoughts again, yes?" Ryan chuckled. "I can't promise to hide them this time." Lyra giggled, a sound full of joy and mischief. And together, they walked into the heart of Zythera, two explorers from different worlds connected by laughter, curiosity, and a shared sense of wonder. Ryan woke to the soft violet light of Zythera's twin suns filtering through the translucent leaves of the forest. He rubbed his eyes, still feeling the lingering echo of Lyra's laughter from the night before. She was already there, floating above the ground, her eyes sparkling as she watched him wake. "Good morning," she said with a smile. "Did you think funny thoughts again?" Ryan laughed, stretching his arms. "I suppose I did, whether I wanted to or not." Lyra giggled, a sound that blended perfectly with the soft hum of the forest. They began their day by exploring a part of the forest Ryan had not yet seen. Lyra moved effortlessly among the glowing plants, and Ryan followed, careful not to step on the pulsating ground. Every so often he would think something playful or mischievous, and Lyra would laugh, shaking her head with delight. Ryan realized he was no longer embarrassed. Her laughter had become a comfort, a reminder that he could be himself, even in a world so different from his own. As they walked, Ryan noticed faint trails of energy leading deeper into the forest. The patterns were irregular but intentional, as if someone or something had been guiding travelers this way. "What is this?" Ryan asked, pointing at the glowing lines. Lyra floated closer to examine them. "Energy trails. Some are old. Some are recent. They lead to the city of Zinthara, but something is wrong." Ryan frowned. "Wrong? How do you know?" Lyra's large eyes narrowed. "The energy is unstable. Something is causing the flow to shift. It is dangerous." Ryan's curiosity immediately took over. He had studied energy fields before, and he knew that unstable energy could be deadly. "Show me," he said. Lyra nodded and led him along the winding trails, her laughter still echoing lightly whenever he thought something unusual. The closer they got to the city, the stronger the energy became. Ryan could feel it tingling through his gloves and into his body. The air itself seemed charged with electricity. Finally, they arrived at the edge of the city. Zinthera was even more beautiful up close. Spires of crystal and living metal rose toward the sky, glowing softly with an inner light. Bridges of energy connected the towers, and streams of luminous liquid flowed along the streets like rivers of light. But Ryan immediately noticed the problem. Sections of the city were flickering and trembling as the energy field around them shifted uncontrollably. Sparks of light shot into the sky and some of the floating walkways quivered dangerously. "This is worse than I imagined," Ryan said, scanning the area. Lyra hovered near him, her expression serious for the first time. "If it continues, parts of the city may collapse. Many may be injured." Ryan clenched his jaw. "We need to stabilize it. Can you help me understand how it works?" Lyra nodded. "I can feel the energy. You can touch it and shape it with tools. Together, we might succeed." They worked together, Ryan using his human knowledge of engineering and energy fields, Lyra guiding him with her psychic sense of the fluctuating energy. Ryan marveled at her abilities. She could sense every subtle shift, every dangerous spike before it happened. Her laughter was quieter now, replaced by concentration and focus. But every so often, when Ryan's thoughts wandered into playful or curious territory, her soft giggle reminded him of the strange, joyful bond they shared. Hours passed, and the two of them moved through the city, reinforcing energy channels and stabilizing fluctuating sections. Ryan's human ingenuity, combined with Lyra's alien abilities, created solutions neither could achieve alone. He rigged temporary stabilizers to redirect dangerous currents, while Lyra adjusted the flow with subtle psychic nudges, keeping everything balanced. The city responded to their combined efforts. The trembling walkways calmed, the flickering towers steadied, and the luminous rivers flowed smoothly once again. During a brief pause, Ryan leaned against a crystalline spire, wiping sweat from his forehead. "I never thought I'd be doing this with an alien," he said, smiling at Lyra. "You know, it's kind of fun." Lyra laughed softly, tilting her head. "Fun, yes. You think funny things even while working. It is amusing." Ryan laughed too, realizing that her laughter had become a source of strength rather than embarrassment. As they continued their work, Ryan began to notice something deeper. Lyra wasn't just playful or clever, she was caring. She guided him away from hidden dangers without hesitation, adjusted her pace to match his, and even offered him small bursts of energy when he became fatigued. Ryan found himself respecting her intelligence and skill, and he felt a growing admiration for her courage. He had faced dangerous situations before, but working alongside someone so attuned to both the environment and his mind was unlike anything he had ever experienced. By late afternoon, most of the city's energy had been stabilized. Ryan and Lyra stood on a high bridge overlooking the glowing streets below. The city was safe, but the experience had changed them both. Ryan realized how much he had learned from Lyra, not just about Zinthera, but about patience, trust, and the value of teamwork. Lyra, for her part, seemed to study him in a new light. Her laughter was quieter now, more thoughtful, as if she was reflecting on his determination and cleverness. "You humans. You are persistent," Lyra said softly. "Even when things seem impossible, you continue." Ryan smiled. "We have to be. We survive by trying even when it's hard, and having a good partner helps." Lyra tilted her head, her eyes sparkling. "You think funny things, but you are also kind, brave, caring." Ryan felt warmth spread through him. Her words were simple, but they carried meaning he could feel deep in his chest. Night fell again, and the twin suns dipped below the horizon, leaving the sky filled with stars Ryan had never seen before. He and Lyra sat on the bridge, watching the city glow peacefully beneath them. Ryan realized that in saving Zinthera, they had also built a bridge between their worlds. His thoughts had become a language, and her laughter a response that told him he was understood, accepted, and appreciated. I never expected to find a friend like you on another planet," Ryan said quietly. Lyra's eyes softened, and she giggled lightly, just enough to make him smile. Friend, yes, you are different and you amuse me. That is good. Ryan chuckled, feeling lighter than he had in years. Over the next days, Ryan and Lyra continued exploring parts of the city and surrounding forests. They discovered hidden gardens where plants hummed in harmony with the energy fields, pools of liquid light that reflected thought images, and creatures that seemed to respond to their emotions. Ryan noticed that every time he had a playful thought, Lyra laughed softly, but the laughter no longer embarrassed him. It was a sign of connection, a reminder that she was attuned to his mind and heart. One evening, as the twin suns set, Ryan realized how much he had grown to care for Lyra. Her presence made the alien world feel like home. He had come to Scythera expecting discovery and exploration, but he had found something more: companionship, understanding, and a unique bond that crossed the boundaries of species and thought. Lyra floated near him, her eyes reflecting the shimmering city lights. Ryan, she said softly, you think strange things, funny things, and yet you help me help my city. You are remarkable. Ryan smiled, feeling a swell of pride and affection. I couldn't have done it without you, Lyra. You guided me and somehow you made me better. Lyra giggled, a sound full of warmth. And you amuse me. That is important too. Days turned into weeks, and Ryan's work on Scythera became more than just exploration. He helped the city grow, stabilize its energy, and understand human methods of engineering combined with alien technology. His bond with Lyra deepened with every shared experience, every laugh, and every challenge overcome. The laughter that had first startled him became a symbol of their friendship, trust, and mutual respect. One day, Ryan realized that the forest no longer seemed alien or intimidating. With Lyra by his side, the strange creatures and glowing plants felt familiar. He thought about Earth, his family, and all the adventures he had lived through. But none compared to the joy of exploring Scythera with Lyra. She had shown him that even across the universe, connections could be formed, laughter could bridge worlds, and understanding could flourish in the most unexpected places. As the twin suns set on another vibrant day, Ryan and Lyra stood on the highest spire of the city, looking out at the glowing horizon. Ryan thought of all the funny, mischievous, and strange thoughts he had over the past days, and how each one had brought him closer to understanding Lyra, and through her, the world of Scythera. You think funny things again today? Lyra said, her giggle soft in the twilight. Ryan laughed, feeling free and lighthearted. I suppose I do, and I suppose you will keep laughing at me. Yes, Lyra replied, her eyes sparkling. And that is good. Ryan smiled, knowing that her laughter was no longer a source of embarrassment but a symbol of friendship, trust, and the joy of discovering something extraordinary together. The city glowed beneath them, peaceful and alive, and for the first time in his life, Ryan felt completely at home on an alien world. And as the stars of Scythera sparkled above, he realized that some bonds like laughter, understanding, and shared adventure were stronger than any distance, any difference, or any species. With Lyra by his side, he knew that this was only the beginning of their incredible journey together.